Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rawach Give double honors to our apostles and elders of the Great Millstone who ruled well, taught us this truth, and continue to do so. Sincere peace and salutations to the Akim pushing this word and truth in all sincerity. It's your brother Gnan from DC Church coming back at you with a quick video. And as you can see, I'm on the go. But I was just listening to the elder bro Tazawoo out in New Jersey. His latest video, I believe it was. And just a quick thought. Quick LambBack off of that. He was doing a commentary on people waking up to the crumbling society and shit like that. And this is I thought the second Ezra 15, which we brothers is going to that chapter, a whole lot, these past couple of years, and what happens when people are waking up to the truth and waking up to the fact that, they're being lied to and everything is actually a distraction, everything is actually bullshit. What actually comes with this, what actually happens is second Ezra 15, the realization that the world is, like the scriptures say, starting in verse 14, woe to the world and them that the world they're in. They're realizing that the only thing that's going to come from all of the shit that's happening, the inflations, this war in Iran, all the things, high gas, brothers know. My mind is, it's not going too deep right now, but brothers know where I'm going with it, but the fact that people are realizing that there's nothing but destruction, they're going to start to not regard their kings nor princes. You see the thing with Fauci pleading the fifth, and just 5-6 years ago, everybody was waiting on his orders. He was basically the guide out of the pandemic, and now people are waking up and realizing that he may have been a part of the pandemic, which is why he was being questioned, which is why he had to plead the fifth. You never see a man that has immunity, or what they call it, clemency, by Joe Biden. Never seen a man that's you're not going to see jail time on a federal sense. He'd go and plead the fifth, and people are starting to wake up and realize that this is all bullshit, so they're not going to regard their kings nor princes fulfillment of that prophecy. And then also, one people is going to stand up and fight against another. People are going to become even more selfish. Like the scriptures say, in the last days, perilous times shall come when men shall be lovers of their own selves. You're going to start to see that, man. People are going to start to wax worse and worse. People are going to become more evil. And prophecy is going to come to pass. And this is what the men of the Lord been telling the people from the beginning. Men of the Lord been telling you that hell is coming up to this place. That it ain't gonna be no happy ending for especially these United States, man. It ain't gonna be no happy ending. Hell is coming up to this place, and the control that people are waking up to is going to become even more organized. It's going to become even more controlled. As soon as that C-hip come, that's the end. Then we looking up to the sky. That's why the scriptures say, "Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee." So what if some don't believe? These are the scriptures that brothers gotta hold on to, because down, then you know that you're on the right track. You know that you're good. You see, there was a whole compilation that the elder, was doing a video on. There's a whole compilation of people that you can tell they seem to be in somewhat of a shock. And that's 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. We know very well that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night, man. There's no need to be told to us, the prophets. So what must we do in the time that we're living in right now? We got to continue to gather up that oil. We got to continue to seek Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Grow in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Build our relationship with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Because this world is about to turn upside down. And it's no shock unto us, it's a shock unto them. Them being the heathen and the 2/3. It was a beautiful video the elder did, man, Cause now even the non-believers are starting to see, wait, these men are right. And even within the world of Israel, you can see who the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shah is dealing with, who Yahweh Bashem Shah is guiding. Because back in 2020, the apostles was firm, man. The apostles, the bishops, they was firm. You take that shit, you up out of here, man. You take that shit and let the heads of the great millstone find out you ain't a part of this. There's gonna be a whole expose video on your ass. Meanwhile, you have other leaders saying, go ahead and take it. Even taking it to the point saying, don't be dumb, man. Do what you gotta do. Now, 5 years later, people who taking it are finding out that they have, heavy metals, things that can harm them for the rest of their life, injected into their bodies, man. That goes to show all those videos that they was doing, the government was doing, with the president, the vice president, all these high officials taking, the jab on TV for everybody to see, saying, see, it's safe, Now you got to ask yourself the question, did they really take it? And which we've been said back then when it was happening that, nah, they didn't take it. That was bullshit. They squirted water in their arms. Brothers were saying all type of shit, but it wasn't that. It wasn't what you think they took. And now the world is seeing like it was all a farce. It was all bullshit, man. It proves the point of what we said. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I was watching Stephen A. Smith and how he's completely disturbed by Fauci and disturbed that he was forced to take something that can possibly harm him in the long run. Well, that's your stupidity, man. Because the scriptures say never trust thine enemy. And the issue with Jake in today's world is that they think just because you're dwelling amongst these Edomites and these other nations, just because you're dwelling amongst them, that don't make them not your enemy. That don't make them not your enemy. You have to know how to move with wisdom. Live amongst these people, but still have your eyes open when it comes to them. The Edomite can hold the door for you entering into a store or whatever, but that don't make him a good person. You can see an Edomite give a homeless Jake a couple dollars, but that don't make him a good person, man. He's still your enemy. If he come from the line of Edom, Esau, that is your sworn enemy. And when all hell breaks loose, as it's about to, you're going to see how much of an enemy you are to these people, man. So So yeah, man, you know, just some thoughts that was going through my mind as I was listening to the Elder Bro video. You know, shout out to the Elder Bro, Taza Moore. I believe his handle is GMS Shield of Faith. Check out that video. It's a good video. But yeah, that's it. Till the next video, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Baruch HaKadosh. Till the next video, say shalom.